Hi, I'm Kimberly Ann. I hope you're keeping warm today. My name is Kimberly Ann. I want to do a quick music ministry moment. I want to share with you the testimony of one of the artists that we play, Blessing Offer. And I was acquainted with Blessing before we started playing him on the radio station. And I heard his music and I'm like, wow, what a heart. There was something deep, deep in there. Plus his skills, of course, that God gave him, just amazing. And so then I started listening to his music, and then shortly we started playing him on Pulse FM, and I was very excited. We play songs like Believe and Your Love. And on this music ministry moment, I want to share with you a testimony, the testimony of his life, and it's so powerful. And there's a call to action at the end of this video, and I'm praying that you respond to it. I really am. So Blessing was born in Nigeria with almost complete blindness in one eye. And so his parents, in the hopes that they could, take care of this, cure it, they could save his vision, they made, as you can imagine, a very gut-wrenching decision to send Blessing off with his uncle to the United States because they were able to get him some help at Yale Medical Center. And I'm just telling you, as a parent, first of all, that would be a difficult thing. They knew they were going to be separated from him for who knew how long and for how much of his life, a lot of it. And they could only afford just as much as what they were doing. And so Blessing then came to the United States, lived with his uncle, went through countless surgeries on that one eye in those first couple of years. And then after all of that, Blessing is playing in his uncle's backyard one day, and due to something that happened and something like a projectile came and hit him exactly in the most vulnerable spot in that one good eye that it could. And then it took all of his vision. And so now Blessing was completely blind in both eyes. Can you imagine the devastation, especially after all of that effort and the heart gut-wrenching things that went into all of this, and the money and the planning and the hopes and the dreams? And so Blessing even said, you know what? I worried. I mean, he was just a young boy, 10 years old at that time. And he said, I worried that my parents would be so mad at me, so angry at me, because they would think I had been so careless after all they had done for me. And then here I went and allowed such a thing to happen. Those things run through your mind. Sometimes when things happen in your life that are beyond your control, we still do that to ourselves sometimes. And so instead of becoming bitter or succumbing to darkness, we could say, and living in a darkness in his heart and in his spirit and in his mind, he said, you know what? I'm going to increase my other skills, my awareness in other areas, other sensory areas, which is quite common for folks who struggle with blindness, or that has happened, or they were born that way, or whatnot. And then he discovered this love for music, for communicating, and he took that depth that God increased in him and all those other areas and ways and sensory abilities to write amazing music that touches people's hearts and changes them in an amazing way. And in an interview, someone asked him, Blessing, if where you're at right now, seeing what God is doing in your life, if you had to exchange that, they were just kind of, giving a scenario. If you had to change what's happening in your life right now in exchange for vision in one eye or vision in both eyes, would you? And Blessing actually said, if it was a choice between the two, no, I would not. I wouldn't change one thing of what is happening in my life right now. He said, I can see things you can't even imagine that most people, I dare say, might never be able to see, quote unquote, in a lifetime. And that's how God is using him. Isn't that amazing? Oh my goodness, you just never know what someone has gone through in a lifetime and how God is using a particular thing in a greater way than you can ever imagine. And if you had had the choice, if you had asked him as a little boy, maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, would you choose to be blind in both eyes? What would he have said? No, no way, no way. But you see, God is doing such a deeper thing in him and through him, and I just love that. My name is Kimberly Ann. It's been a music ministry moment, a testimony moment about one of the artists that we play, Blessing Offer. And now the call to action for you is this. If you want to share the video, do. But what I would love even more is if you were to put in the comments right now something similar to that God has done and is doing in your life because of something that if you would have had the choice, you would have said, no way do I want to go through that. No way, no how. But now you see how God is changing lives through you, through the work, the deep work that he is doing in you. Would you share that? Personal testimonies are so powerful and they change entire lives forever. And what I'm hoping is for eternity. So share a personal testimony of yours along these lines and then share it and invite other people to share those as well. God loves you so much. I love you too. I'll talk to you on the air.